Good morning. Few hours into a new day here, had to wait for the computer to update. I just wanted to quickly look over how we did have a clear leading of Bitcoin dropping and leading the market down here. It ended its bull run around the 15th of April and had a small bounce. But the altcoin market, the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, the altcoin market, it topped out around a month later. It did have a drop when Bitcoin did, but its bounce was larger. And as we can see with the moving average pattern here, it's ahead. Bitcoin is well into this pattern than the altcoin market is. And it's about to have this crossover, nowhere near it on the altcoin market. And it seems very likely that Bitcoin will once again lead the rest of the market. And it's why a lot of people do prefer Bitcoin, because of course the altcoin market can give greater returns, but if you are in the thing that goes first, you can move the profits into things that do have higher percentage moves and take greater advantage because you're using profits to do so. You're using more money. You have more money than you did because you took advantage of the first mover, which is usually Bitcoin. Obviously, there's many exceptions, but on average, we can clearly see time and time again, Bitcoin beats the average of the crypto market, and leads it. Not beats it, leads it. And it could be doing so here, which would mean a bit more of a sideways action, which can be good for many altcoins individually, a few exceptions, but the average overall market could be leading sideways to get into this same pattern, the same point of the pattern. And that would mean that there's a few things that are popping up as more and more benefit as being hedges. Silver and iShares Silver Trust has been listed on FTX for a while now. PAXG, which is gold, has been listed a while on Binance. And as we can see a few days ago, silver just got another increase in its volume. It got another bounce of it. It's not the highest it's ever had, but money did move from US dollars on FTX. So instead of trading or buying something else on FTX, people did buy silver or iSilver shares or iShares Silver. People did sell, of course, but the movement, it is going down. Someone had to buy that. Someone was buying this falling asset class. And we can see on a day when Bitcoin is struggling, silver is still green. It was stronger earlier in the day when I first started making this video, but it is acting a tiny bit like a hedge. Of course, as we know, silver is not as connected to the crypto market as most altcoins are connected to Bitcoin. And that means that if we do have further downside here with the crypto market, things like silver, even gold, PAXG, they're offering a hedge. We can see Pax Gold to Bitcoin here. We'll give a clearer view if it's having strength on the day rather than PAXG compared to the US dollar. Taking a good minute to load. Okay. Rightio, I thought the update would make this faster. Today, Junior. Okay, the whole thing. Okay, yeah. So as we can see, Pax Gold to Bitcoin, it's going into strength to strength. It's having the opposite here. Not the total, not the exact opposite. Different moving averages, but it's having a bullish crossover here, a slow move up, an ascending triangle that's been building for a few months. It's having strength. So things like Pax Gold and silver, they're just acting as a hedge. Now, I don't think, obviously, I would prefer Bitcoin for decades over gold. But when Bitcoin and the altcoin market is showing weakness and potential for further downside in the short term, then things like gold and silver can act as a hedge in that time. I don't think of anything in 100% this way or that way, and I don't think you want to be caught holding some assets that don't give any drip for a long time, especially a large percentage, but a smaller percentage just as a hedge, just for something that could potentially increase your Bitcoin potential. You could buy more Bitcoin because the US dollar value of gold or Pax G goes up or silver goes up when gold goes down. And as a hedge, I think these are increasingly becoming adopted in the crypto market as well. Of course, gold has for a long time been a hedge on the traditional markets, and when the S&P is so overextended and the commodity market has moved such percentage points to the upside, whereas gold and silver have lagged, it may indicate that they are still the hedge that they have always been. And if we're going to get this drop, they will be a good thing to have a percentage of portfolio, holding. And that silver I'm not going to change the screen again just because the laptop is lagging just the mouse, but the computer. The silver has also had an increase in volume just in the last few days. So we could be getting a move just in the short term where the crypto market does kind of follow Bitcoin and have further downside and go further into this pattern, whether it be chop and slow descending, kind of like Marty's been talking about with the falling wedge. We could see that, which could give a lot of potential upside. Not the same sort of volatility as we would like as like altcoin moves, but there can be upside in Pax Gold against the US dollar, let alone against Bitcoin, which offers awesome opportunities because the best thing for people to get into Bitcoin is for it to be lower prices. And if you could be in an asset that's going higher prices while Bitcoin is dropping, that just means you can buy more Bitcoin than ever. And there's plenty of people, an increasing amount of people, who might want exactly that. And I'll leave it there for now. And we can see how the day develops. But it seems likely that we do have more chop. And I do hope we fail up, but who knows what's going to happen. It's best to have a hedge somewhere, some amount.